self-defense sticks called Kali, Eskrima, also known as Arnis. You're gonna hold one in each hand with a little bit of the stick coming out of the bottom of your hand. You're gonna do a warm up for your shoulders first, nice and easy, just down and back. This is actually gonna become a strike in just a little bit. We're gonna use this as a warm up move to get that blood into your shoulders, into your forearms, your elbows, your hands, your wrists. In this adult self-defense class, self-defense sticks, I want you to be properly warmed up to avoid injury during your training. After you do this for 30 seconds, I want you to split it. This is going to increase your range of motion with your Eskrima sticks or Kali sticks. These have been made popular by movies. They're getting more and more popular. See them sticking up or popping up. Filipino martial arts, Eskrima, Arnis, also known as Kali, in a lot of different movies lately, especially. There was that new movie Dune that just came out, and Jason Momoa, who was in the TV series that was really popular. Can't think what it's called. But everybody knows Jason Momoa. He's fighting with short swords in the movie Dune, and his character uses this Eskrima style, Balintawak Eskrima. You're gonna hold one in each hand and then twist going forward. So I know if you're a Dune fan like I am, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I've been waiting for it to come out. Go the other way. When I watch a really good martial arts movie or a movie that has martial arts in it, I'm always interested in who's the fight director or the choreographer and what's their style. Hello, Matthew. Hello, everybody who's here so far. We're working with Kali sticks or Eskrima sticks. These are self-defense sticks. This is a self-defense style of Eskrima or Kali stick. It's not the lightweight rattan, which some people start with. This is hickory. This is more for self-defense. You can use this very effectively for strikes and blocks. Now, after spinning forward, I want you to pull it backward. This is all still part of your warm-up when you want to train in Filipino martial arts or learn a movie style of self-defense. And it might be popularized by a movie like Dune and Jason Momoa's character. Now you're going to spin on the way down and spin on the way up. You're just putting the first two exercises together. It might be popular because of the movie, but it comes from a traditional style like Eskrima or Arnis, or Kali, one of the Filipino martial arts that uses double sticks in addition to knives, machetes, open hand or empty hand. You go down and up. And then that second exercise where you were splitting it, you're also going to do that by doing one hand with that spin. And the whole purpose of this is to increase flexibility in your wrists. And I know that there are a bunch of scenes in the new Dune and the old Dune where they're fighting with knives, short knives, long knives, short swords that look like machete. There's a lot of spinning involved, and you might see this, but I don't want you to open your hand. That's a bad technique. You hit something that comes out of your hand, but keep your hand closed. Get just as flexible, just as fast, going forward, going backward, throw them both on your shoulders, and then do one at a time. This is also really good for brain elasticity, keeping your brain youthful, young, flexibility in your personality, so you don't get grumpy all the time. Learn how to let things go, right? Better tolerance, open your mind. It goes hand in hand. A flexible body goes with a flexible mind, lives in a flexible mind lives in a flexible body. So work on your flexibility, but also do hard things like this that aren't, and this looks simple, right? Super easy. It is after you've trained it for a while. And it's not that it gets easy. You just get better. You get more focused. You develop more skills. All right, those are the basic warm-ups. I've got one more. And this is just to get a lot of blood flowing into your forearms, into your wrists, your hands. Keep your body safe from injury while also building strength in your forearms. And if you use a heavy set of Kali sticks or Eskrima sticks like these self-protector Kali sticks, Eskrima sticks, that's the first link below if you want to see what they cost or what their dimensions are if you want to make your own. Go to that first link. But when you use a heavier pair like this, you get more rotation in your wrists, meaning you're going to get more muscle, more flexibility, more strength. Now, we've gone over the basic warm-up. I want to talk about strikes, and then I want to talk about using both sticks at once. The first strike is going to come from your shoulder And again, remember, you're gonna hold your hand up about one hand width. I got a big hand, so I come up about one hand width. So I have some of the stick sticking out of the bottom. I'm gonna use that to strike with, to jab with, to hit and for self-defense. Shake Scan says, I'm enjoying your shows, thank you. I appreciate you being here. You also will use that to trap or catch or strip a weapon from the person who's trying to hurt you. This is a self-defense tool. The self-defense sticks are any length, any size. You can learn how to use a self-defense stick, and then sticks are pretty much everywhere. That's why the Filipino martial arts are gaining in popularity. They use sticks and knives and things that are easily accessible, flexible weapons, rolled up weapons, improvised sticks. You can find them, pick them up. And if you have nothing else, he has a knife, bad guy's got some kind of weapon, at least you have something that you can defend yourself with that resembles a stick or is a stick. So start with that stick on your shoulder. This is my right hand. I'm gonna have my right foot forward. My left hand is always gonna be up and in a guarding position. And from here, I'm gonna strike through the temple to the chin. Think of temple to the chin or neck through the ribs, but keep it tight and keep it in front of your body. Dan is in Vancouver, Canada. Thanks, Dan. Thanks for being here. Yeah, Dan says it's a great way to stay away from the TV. Yes, and I consume too much news myself. I try to wean myself off of it. Then I get reeled back in. There's so much happening in the world, right? But there's so much happening we have no control over. We can stay angry and frustrated, or we can pick up a stick and train. So I'm glad you're here, Dan. This keeps me training too. From my shoulder, I come through and I want to make a full range of motion. Notice that I'm extending my arm all the way as I bring that from my shoulder to the other hip. It's all the way here, and then I'm going to slide it up onto this opposite shoulder. From here, I'm going to bring it, same thing, through the temple to the chin or in the center of my body. Now that's different than a big wide strike that doesn't have a good target. I want a target. For self-defense, my targets are always going to be what can I remove or destroy for self-defense. His ability to see or be awake, maybe hit him right there in the temple, knock him out. If he's got a knife, I don't have to worry about taking the knife. If I can knock him unconscious and let the cops scoop him up, I don't have to worry about trying to take that knife, getting sliced up, getting stabbed. I'm just going to hit him before he hits me. And I have reach advantage. You're going to have reach advantage when you use an Eskrima stick or a Kali stick. So if you want to see how long these are, the exact dimensions are in that first link below. From here, I go through, bring it up to that shoulder. I'm going to turn my palm up so it's facing the sky. I'm going to bring it up. Think about going through the rib to the other side of the body. And then from here, drop it to the opposite hip and bring it up to the same side of the body. And again, tight in the center line. Now you're making an X. Down, down, and then the second part coming up. You're just tracing that X motion. My right foot is forward because my right hand is striking. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't want you to do this for 30 seconds, gradually increasing how fast and how hard you're striking. Remember, this is self-defense sticks. This is not traditional Filipino martial arts per se or by itself. This is taking a tool from the traditional Filipino martial art of Eskrima or Kali or Arnis and applying it in practical everyday self-defense. Doug says he gave all his self-defense fighting sticks a name. I like your names. He listed the names in there. That's smart. Fun, right? Break up the monotony of training sometimes. Although I never get bored. If you're bored, it's because you're doing it in a boring way. If you're bored, you're boring, right? You're not going fast enough. Increase your intensity, increase this power, the speed, your focus. One of those three things, speed, power, focus. You increase those every time, a little bit faster, a little bit stronger, a little bit more focused. You can't get bored. It's impossible. Put it in the other hand. It's my opinion anyway. That's been my experience for 30 some years of teaching. When your hand is here, you give a little bit here. Again, that's the strike with, jab. Now it's in my left hand. Your left foot and your left hand will be forward. Your right hand is up. You get tight, bring it from your shoulder and through to the other side. Do that first strike 5 or 6 times. From here, bring it up to the other shoulder. Make sure it's on the shoulder. Bring it back. 1, 2, 1. Do that a few times. From here, turn the palm up. Add the third angle coming up. And then you can add the fourth. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is your left side. Your left foot's forward. Gradually increasing your speed. A little faster. A A little faster, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that's just 4 of many angles that you're gonna learn, at least 10, 11, 12 in a basic level of training. So if you come to a self-defense class, Kali martial arts or Eskrima martial arts, stick to self-defense, and you're learning self-defense sticks with me in an adult self-defense class, we would go over probably 9, the first class, 9 basic angles, and then add 1 or 2 angles until you get up to about 12, and then we talk about variations of each one over a period of time. But from the beginning, we're gonna do the basics over and over and over because it's self-defense. I don't care if you learn all of the traditional language in the meanings of the Majapahit diaspora, in the whatever, right? I don't care about that because, not that I don't care about it, as The Rock would say, it doesn't matter because we're using this for self-defense. And in self-defense, we're going to go principle first. Principle number 1, situational awareness. Number 2, always get into a better position. In this case, put the sticks between you and the threat. That gives you reach advantage. If he's got a knife, you've got a stick, you can reach him before he reaches you. And then number 3, what are you going to remove or destroy targets as far as your opponent goes? His eyesight, his ability to breathe temporarily or permanently, his ability to be awake, and smash him through his brain for self-defense. So you're going to go into that category, and then that's going to tell you what technique to use. That way, in that case, you don't have to learn all the esoteric, all the interesting historical facts about in all the ways to do the bows and all the other things. Learn that, but learn that in the martial arts world, in the self-defense world. Learn how to pick up a stick, create distance, thrust through somebody, strike, push them back, what targets you remove or destroy. Do that first, and then if it's your passion, your interest, pick up all the cool aesthetics of the martial arts. All right, now you have 1 in each hand. I know I only showed you the first 4, but I wanted to do that. I wanted to show you the first 4 so we could talk about Sinawali or stick weaving pattern using the double sticks, double Eskrima or Kali sticks. And I want you to start with 1 on each shoulder. You're gonna bring it forward in that tight strike and leave it out right here. Good morning, Patrick. It's nice to see you. From here, you're gonna bring the other one across so that your arms cross. Now your arms are crossed. The second step is to uncross your arms. So from here, 1, 2, and then I'm gonna bring them in, 3, 4, now they're uncrossed. It's as simple as that at the beginning because you're gonna train your brain. This is all about brain elasticity, growing in your brain in self-defense training. That's when you become more flexible in your self-defense, in your thinking, and your moving, your ideas, you let go of hard-held beliefs that might be getting you in trouble. So from here, you're gonna go 1, 2, bring them in, 3, 4. Now this is my right, this is my left. I go right hand, left hand, and then right hand, left hand again. Now I'm uncrossed. The second time I do it, good afternoon, Charlie, it's good to see you. I'm gonna go left hand, right hand, bring them in, left hand, right hand, now they're uncrossed. So once again, it's cross your arms, uncross your arms, cross the other way, uncross with that same way. Now, you're gonna take the 1 stick on your left side and put it on your right ribs. Now you could go the other way first. If you're left-handed, it doesn't really matter. Just put 1 on the shoulder and on the same side of the body. Here's what I see almost all the time. People get stuck and they're frustrated. They think they're like this, you think you're like this, but you're really like this and it doesn't work and you get frustrated. Make sure, double check on yourself, go back, use the mirror, put your camera phone on, watch what you're doing, see if you're like this or like this. This is wrong, same side, opposite side on the hand that's under. Now keep it tight and I want you to strike and bring it back to the other shoulder. Again, strike, bring it back to the other shoulder. Later, you're gonna start to do that harder and faster, right? You can do it in the air hard and fast. You can do it on a bag. You can do it with a partner on their sticks. You can do it in the air. Whatever you have is what you should use, but don't start or wait to start. Get started. It's like real estate. They say don't wait to buy real estate. Buy real estate and wait. Same thing with Kali martial arts or Eskrima martial arts. Don't wait. Get started learning how to defend yourself. Start with what you have. Bring these in. If you don't have a pair of sticks, get an old broom or a mop, cut it in half. If you don't have one that's wood, go look for some pieces of a tree that are hanging and go get some PVC pipe from the store for $2 or $3. Cut that in half. Do whatever you can. You can get a couple of sticks that are, you can get a 36-inch stick, cut it in half. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be a good starting point. or better yet, get a 48-inch stick, cut it in half. 48 inches, if you get it at the hardware store, it's gonna cost you like $9 or $10. Or go to the hardware store and for like $6 or $7, get a broom handle, or get a mop handle, or like a painter's pole or something like that. Cut that in half. Now you've got 2 collie sticks. Or if you've been doing it for a while and you want purpose-made self-defense sticks that are gonna last for a million years, click that first link below. From here, 1 and over, 2 and back, 3 and under. Bring it back over. I like to do the first side a whole bunch of times. Hello, Doug, it's nice to see you. Over, back, and under. You're just gonna come from here, 1. Good, Matthew says he uses 2 canes. I do believe it. Matthew, that's a perfect idea. I hope that your training is going really well. I know you've been training hard for a long time. 1, 2, 3. And then from this side, bring it back. Bring it over to the opposite shoulder. Bring this hand straight back. Bring this hand under. And here's a quick tip. If I'm talking too much, but I'm always moving, right? If I'm talking too much, watch this back with the sound off and slow it down. You'll find those 3 dots at the top of the YouTube player. Put me on half speed or 1/4 speed and zip my lips, right? And just do what I'm doing with the hands. Once you start to get it, you can slowly speed it up. This is that first basic pattern. If you want to learn how to use self-defense sticks in an adult self-defense class, this is just a way to disguise repetition later on a bag or a stack of tires, and you can start to work with your footwork. And let's talk about footwork real quick, because I have a footwork drill for you on this video right now. I'm gonna turn the camera down, so hold on, don't get nauseous. I'm gonna take my 2 Eskrima sticks. I put them on the ground. Now, I made a V. This is the basic footwork for most Filipino martial arts, for most martial arts in general, for most boxing, self-defense. Everything works on an angle. You don't want to go side to side by itself. You don't want to go front to back. You want to move in at an angle or back at an angle. Now, in this case, I'm going to move forward first. So I'm going to step in, and then see how this foot comes up? I want it to come up. You want this foot to come up. When you step in, don't leave that foot there. It spreads your stance too long, and it leaves half your body in the way of the attack. When that attack comes into your body, you're going to step in and out of the way, and then step back out at the tip of the V. Then step in on the other side and bring it back out. Just doing this motion is going to improve your mobility. If you're an adult or senior, if you do senior self-defense or adult self-defense, you want to be able to move very well, going from side to side especially, and then side and back and side and front. You want to go with those angles when you can, and most people cannot. It's not instinctive. Most people have a hard time just doing this. So you can practice this. Practice one side, the other side. Make that your warm-up. Do this for 30 seconds. Put your V on the floor, and then step in, step back, step in, step back. After that, you can turn it, start at the top of the V, and then go back to the angle, back in, go back to the angle, back in, go back, step back up, step back. I'm gonna bring the camera back up. And then you've got your footwork drill. So now your heart rate's gonna go up, you're gonna lean out faster, you're gonna get more mobile, you're gonna get more mobility, more ability to move around. You're gonna get stronger legs, ankles, feet, because you're learning how to move side to side. One of the biggest problems that older Americans have, older West, it's not just Americans anymore, older people in developed countries around the world, they sit too much, they sit when they drive, or they ride on a train or a bus, they sit at work all day long, they sit at watching TV and then they sleep. For so many people, not enough people, unless you live in Seoul, Korea, or in New York City, or an area where you're commuting by foot a lot, and then there's somebody coming down your path, you gotta move to the side, then you gotta move the other side. People aren't doing that anymore, believe it or not. A lot of people, especially down here in sunny South Florida, these people hit a certain age, and then they stay inside 90% of the time because it's hot. They crank the air down so it's cold where they are, and then they just sit on their asset, right? Just waiting to die. 20, 30 years of that. And that's not an exaggeration. I'm not trying to be mean, but this is true. Yes, these are 7/8 inch. On the first link below, Doug asked if these were 7/8 inch collie sticks. So from here, if you just practice, let's say that's become you. You're more sedentary than you should be. Add that side lateral stepping and go slowly. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. What's going to happen is you're going to start to wake up muscles in your glutes. And if you're a man especially, that means you're going to get a healthier body. Men and women are both, right? Because both men and women aren't moving. But men especially get weak glutes as they get older. And then their hips roll forward and their belly sticks out. And they start complaining about being fat all the time. It's not fat, it's bad posture. Fix your posture. Side to side is going to help. That's a good warm-up. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. Take your time and then start adding that footwork, stepping in and to the side. Step in and to the side. Then with your stick fighting, stick self-defense, you're going to step, and when you start to do your Sinawali, you're going to be changing your feet, changing directions with your body as you go faster, and then eventually you're going to start to add a lower technique, lower strikes, then you're going to add multiple strikes, high and low on the same side, and you're probably not going to fight with that. That's not going to be the self-defense movement by itself. Tom says, do collie footwork? Oh, yeah, Tom. Tom asked with resistance bands. But here's one, you can put them around your ankles. If you have small enough ones, or double them up. Start light, though. Don't trip yourself. And yes, it's a great workout. Side to side, and then in and out. Or you can anchor one to the wall or around something heavy that's not going to move. Then put it around your waist. And then do it while it's anchored around something, so you're getting pulled in different directions. And we can go over that in another video. But I want you to do something with your feet, moving side to side, front and back, and then every once in a while, throw in a couple of shallow squats, just up and down, not too deep, but start to move again, start to move your body, especially if you're older. If you're doing senior self-defense, you've been looking for a way to get, build the skill of self-defense. You also have to think about how can you defend against all the diseases, lifestyle diseases that they call aging, and it's not aging. It's sedentary, it's the wrong foods, it's driving everywhere instead of walking anymore. It's watching too much TV, binge watching Netflix. There's nothing good on Netflix, maybe a couple of shows. There's a cool show called Spycraft, watch that. All right, the guy that makes these makes the Spycraft show. From here, I want you to come back into this chambered position, and I want you to do those strikes again. In all of these, think of striking against someone's temple. But then I want you to modify and this bottom hand, so starting from here, this is 1, this number 2, instead of bringing that out at that angle, now I want you to turn it over like a deflecting block, knocking something out of the way. So the first one is the same, but the second one turns out. It still comes back. It's no longer going to come here. This is a modification. So 1 or progression or a different technique, however you want to think about it. And then your under, those are all the same. This is the same, here's the different one. Turning that wrist over, bringing it back and under. 1, turn that wrist, turn the wrist, turning the wrist. Now you've got 2 Sinawali patterns. This is 1 where they're all at this same angle. Here's 2. Now the third one, you're going to change again, just this bottom hand. That's the same, but this one comes down to the knee, striking low and back. Everything else is the same. 1, now you have 3 Sinawali patterns. And what you can do, either with a partner or in the air or training on a bag or a stack of tires, is warm up doing that first one and then start to change over that bottom hand to go into the second one. And then when you're ready, change that bottom hand so you're striking low. And then later I'll show you how to add it. And once you get the first 3, any modification after that is pretty basic, pretty simple. Doug says, firm or relaxed grip. Always close the hand, never squeezing tightly because you need that flexibility in the wrist. So I call it firm and relaxed. I've always called it that for some reason. because I want you to have the idea that it shouldn't be so relaxed that it comes out of your hand, but you shouldn't be so firm that you're squeezing. And yes, heaven and earth, 6, and standard 6, Tom says, and then high, low. We were going to go into that. Different schools have different names for it, but those are pretty standard. Heaven meaning anything up, earth meaning bringing it down to the ground, right? And then, but then the 6, the standard 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 strikes. So thanks for that, Tom. Doug, you're welcome. So those are the basics. I want you to get started with that. We'll add more to your adult self-defense class with these self-defense sticks. But again, if you want to see what these cost, or if you want to make your own, invest your time before you invest your money, go to the link below, check out what the information is on it, make your own, and then when you're ready, consider a pair like this, or upgrade your skill in making self-defense tools. Heaven points up, earth points down. Tom, that's the best way to think about it. Thank you for that. Smart, right? So heaven points up, earth points down. Couldn't be more useful information. Thanks, Tom. I'll see everybody in just a little bit.